All right, all right, all right. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say, this is a day in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. It's going to come today with a little something, something coming from the book of Romans, chapter 1. A lot of good stuff in Romans, chapter 1. A lot of good stuff in chapter 1. We're going to give it a minute and see if we have others that's going to join us. If not, I'm going to push on. I love the book of Romans, especially chapter 1. It has so much in chapter 1. It's saying so much to us. It's leaving us with a lot of information. I mean, a lot of information. It's just what we're going to do with it. Once you receive it, what do we do with it? Okay. But this is one book you can uphold before the eyes of man and woman, girl and boy. This is a book that has a lot of great information. Romans chapter 1. So we're just going to wait a minute here. And I think I'm going to give it a few more minutes and then I'm going to move on. Because it's a lot. I noticed one thing in the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 9. I'm sitting here listening to Paul. Listen to what Paul say in chapter 1 of Romans, verse 9. For Yah is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit. Now, that is something that many won't teach you about, and that is your spirit. Because your spirit is the light. That was the plan before heaven and earth was created, was the plan of man to have a light. And that light is the image of Yah, which is a light as well. But Yah's light and your light are spirits, okay? But you have a light. That light that you have, that spirit that you have, is what connects with Yah in the spirit. Your spirit also is what connects to the Ruach HaKodesh. Okay? So therefore, if you're being taught outside of your spirit, that is what man gives you. But the spirit realm of who you are is taught by the Ruach HaKodesh. Okay? It is a spirit. That's why y'all tell us we can't worship him in this flesh. We worship him in spirit and in truth. And I sit here and I'm reading what Paul is saying in Romans chapter 1, verse 9. For Yah is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit. You see? So when you hear Sister Deborah telling you about your flesh, your flesh, your flesh, get out of your flesh, get that flesh under the subjection to your spirit. It is so important, so important that you come to the understanding that your spirit is a light. And that light connects with the light of the Most High Yah through Christ. You see? And when there's a connection, then now you abide in him and he abide in you. How? Through the light. See, his image was that light that he gave you. He gave you his light. That is his image. That is your spirit. It can worship Yah day and night, night and day. But your flesh, Yah don't have no dealings with it. He wants you to get your flesh under to subjection to your spirit, because your spirit is willing to do what is good, what is right. You know, why is that? It's because it is the image of Yah. Yah gave you that spirit, and that spirit desire to do right. It's just like Adam and Eve when they went into the garden. They was without sin. They were naked. I mean, no sin, none whatsoever. Why? Because they was walking in the spirit. But the part of them, which is that flesh, decided to do the opposite of what their spirit was charged not to do. And that's how they ushered in sin. Okay? It's because they ushered it in through their flesh. Okay? And that's why he said man has now become like one of us, knowing now good and evil. See, at first they didn't know nothing but good, what is righteous. But now they know good and what? Evil. So the flesh is what does the things that is evil. But the spirit is what does the things that is willing and what is good in the eyes of Yah. Okay, so we need to get our flesh up under the subjection to our spirit. Okay, because our spirit really wants to do what's right. That's every man, woman, boy, and girl. We all have that spirit that wants to do right. But because of our flesh who wants to do evil, it always get the victory. That's why we need the Holy Spirit. So it can get 100 victory over our flesh. That means no matter after that, no matter what the flesh do or try to do, that Ruach HaKodesh retaining it, chastising it, you see, getting it in order. But is it make it perfect? No, it didn't say he would. But the things that you bring into your spirit, he will tame that and let you know that this, and how he does this, he can bring you into a conviction. You know, he can make you feel bad about something you're doing or something you said or your actions. That's what the Holy Spirit can do, to where it can keep you aware of your flesh doing the things that it's doing. So when Sister Deborah is constantly telling you that this newfound religion is found under the flesh of man, which is darkness, which is night. And yes, it's real. It is real as real can be. And it teaches you the things that rest therein in darkness. It don't bring you over to the side where you can see the light, or you can see the light to where you desire the light therein, you know. And then when you desire that light, it's because you start to thirst, you know, for that light. You start to want that light. You start to desire, have a hunger for that light, which is Yah himself. It is his spirit. You see, so we as men and women, male and female, we first have to understand that we are a spirit. Okay, because see here in Romans chapter 1, verse 9, Paul said, "For Yah is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit." What did Paul understand? That he had a spirit that serves Yah. And Sister Deborah, this is what she says over and over and over to you all. That's the only way you're going to be able to serve the Most High Yah. Paul gave you a good example right there. He telling you, with my spirit, I serve my Father. You see, he don't want you to serve him with this flesh. And that's why when you hear Sister Deborah telling these people, take off these clown clothes, stop the clothes and stop acting like a clown, it's because that's how the flesh is. It has a tendency role playing everything. And that's how it deceives many people, because they want you to look like they really want you to look the role. They want you to act the role. They want you to be so humble in the speaking the role. They want you to portray the role. And I don't even think they're doing a really good job, because when he handed me down the gift of discerning, I can see straight through it. I can see straight through. I can be sitting here, and the blessing is I don't have to be face to face. I can see them on this devil platform, and I can tell you who's who and what's what and what's behind them. Okay, so I like this here in Roman chapter 1 of Roman, how Paul is speaking of how whom I in verse 9, for Yah is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit in the gospel of his son, that without ceasing I make mention of you always in my prayers. Now, see, that's something else we need to be doing. We need to be praying for others. Now, Paul sounds like he's talking about the Gentiles. Now, see, Yah called him to go into the Gentiles, and look how he's dealing with his way of going into the Gentiles. Look how he's dealing with going into the Gentiles. Listen to what he said: that without ceasing, I make mention of you always in my prayers. He's talking to the Gentiles. Now watch this here. Making request, if by any means now at length I might have a prosperous journey by the will of Yah to come unto you. See his feeling that he had for his mission? See, we got to love what Yah has called us to, and don't let nobody knock us off the pole in which Yah has called us to. I remember when I first went to Atlanta, Georgia, I used to always shut people down with this. They would come and everybody had their Bible. Everybody you see was carrying a Bible. Everything was Jesus, God, the Father, the Holy Spirit, everything that comes out of people's mouth. You go to the store, you go everywhere you go, somebody's talking about God. Okay. Jesus Christ, and I began to see they didn't know who they was in the midst of, because I have the spirit of discerning. I'm like, Father, and I start crying. I asked God, I said, what is it that, it did burst this here, I said, what is it that they are portraying like they really holy? What is it? And they using the names to throw you off. I said, well, what is this they doing? And you know what? I always said, I said this now, and I said it then. I would ask them, what is your calling? That's all I said. I stopped them right in their tracks. I know that might sound wrong, because I was able to discern who they were. So I already knew who they were. But the Most High blessed me to be able to come up with that saying. So they knew they knew something about me. So when you get strangers coming up to you, talking to you, and everywhere you go, and you wonder, why these people keep coming up here talking to me? I said, okay, I'm discerning them now. I'm discerning them. And in the midst of discerning, I realized there was a lot of hypocrites, a lot of fakeness, a lot of evil. And I'm like, why are they coming to me? But you know what? The Most High gave me a precious gift. And that was, Deborah, when they come unto you, ask them, what is their purpose, or what is their calling? What have he purposed you? What is your calling? What is your position in the body? You see, look how Paul states what he's doing. Today, in the 2021, you cannot walk up to not one Hebrew Israelite. Now, I ain't gonna say not one. Let me not say that. You very, very, very many wouldn't be able to tell you what their purpose is, what their calling is. What did Yah call you to? You see, in the body of Hamashiach, he said he got all these positions. What are your purpose? You walking around here with your Bible. You're confronting me, because you saying something about me. You wanted to talk. Okay, come on, talk to me. What is your purpose? What did y'all purpose you in? They never could answer, y'all. They couldn't answer. They couldn't answer that. Shalom, TJ. They could not answer that. You know why? They didn't have a purpose. That means that people are walking around today not even knowing if they're going or coming. They just going. And they role playing, And here Paul is already saying all of this that he said in Romans chapter 1, verse 9 and 10. And he's sitting here talking about the heathens. Listen to what he said in 10. Making requests, if by any means now at length I might have a prosperous journey by the will of Yah to come unto you. What was his purpose? He already knew. He was mission for the Gentiles to bring the gospel. That's his calling. Okay. And in 9, he sits and tell them, in verse 9, he says, for Yah is my witness, whom I have served with my spirit in the gospel of his son, that without ceasing I may mention of you. Who is that you? The Gentiles. That without ceasing I may mention of you always in my prayers. Who was that? The Gentiles. He's talking about the Gentiles. So this is what I'm saying. He was really geared for his position. He was ready. And as he continued, he said, in verse 11, for I long to see you, that I may impart unto you some spiritual gifts. No, he didn't say gifts. He said some spiritual gift, to the end ye may be established. He's talking to Gentiles. He's talking that because what? That was his purpose. That is what Yah called him to. You see? Now we have to understand, where is your purpose? What is your calling? What did he call you to? See, the reason why people don't ask that question anymore, people are not interested in that, is because no one understands that there is a body of Hamashiach, which is a body of Christ. And it has all that it needed and wanted. It has been made up by Yah. Everybody's position is in that body. Christ is the head. But see, no one really focused on that. No one cares about that. That's why no one has respect for the calling and the purpose that each individual have in the body of Hamashiach. They don't have no respect. See, they want to only have respect for male and female. We rule, we kings, we leaders. You shut up, sit down, keep quiet. See, now what kind of stuff is that? How dare an individual think that the body is going to have a head called Christ and it's going to let you conduct yourself in that manner? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I'm saying to you, if Yah has have come to you in your spirit and have called you out and told you what he have gifted you to have blessed you to do, be called you to be, purpose you. That's what I'm trying to say. Be about that. Don't be about what people are doing on this devil platform. Be about your Father's business. That's what Paul is saying here. Be about your Father's business. And I'm talking about the Father in the heavens. And that's going right back to that light. Okay. And he's telling them that in verse 11, for I long to see you, that I may impart unto you some spiritual gift, to the end ye may be established. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And then this is what he's saying to the Gentiles. He's doing a really good job. Look how he's showing this love. Look how he's showing his concern. And look at how he's telling them he's praying for them. You think these Negroes today would say that? You think they saying any like that? Oh, we praying for the camps? Or we praying for ICC or GOCC or whoever. No, they so divided, but yet they say they all that and some to Yah. See, and they haven't looked at the situation at all through a spiritual sight. They don't have the what it takes to look at it clear through the spiritual. Because if they could see it clear, they could see that they're not representing the Most High Yah in any way. But they feel that this is what it takes to do it their way. And this is what Romans is talking about in chapter 1 of Romans. And Paul said in verse 12 of Romans chapter 1, that is, that I may be comforted together with you by the mutual faith, both of you and me. That faith right there is a gift from Yah. That's why he said that I may be comforted together with you by the mutual faith, both of you and me. See, meaning the faith that Yah has in him, but the faith that he would have in you. You see? See, the faith is not something you can crank up or you can design or you can orchestrate. And that's what they're teaching. And that's what's making a lot of them feel comfortable about what they're doing. They think they the faith because of what they believe, what they understand. Oh, we have faith. How do you have faith? I had to get shut down with that. I remember when my son had attempted suicide and he was in a coma for longer than 30 days and he was in the hospital and everybody they were saying, look like you got a lot of faith. And I got to the point when, I got faith. I got faith. To one day I went home and was getting some more clothes to go back to the hospital. And the Most High told me, what faith do you have? He said it just like that. What faith do you have? He said, have you ever understood the footprints? Really? Do you? He broke that thing down. He said that, you see the weight, the prints represent your issues. See, a lot of people don't understand that. The footprints represents your issues that I'm carrying. You ain't doing nothing but you out and I'm carrying you. So faith is the substance of things unseen, but yet believed. So you got it. This is an unseen thing, but you got to believe, but it doesn't make you have faith because you believe. No, faith is a gift of Yah that he has to put in you. If you read, through the scriptures, you can find out that faith is a gift from Yah. A lot of people think it's them. They really believe that, oh, it's me. It's, because I believe, and it's not. Faith is what we need to hold on to his unchanging hands. We can't hold on because we want to hold on. We can't hold on because we feel we can or we got the faith. No. You holding on because faith, the gift of faith is in you to hold on to his unchanging hands and wait for his every move. So, faith is not something that you can crank up yourself. Oh, Lord, no. Verse 13. Now, I would not have you ignorant, brethren. And he even calling them brethren, that oftentimes I propose to come unto you, but was led hitherto, that I may have some fruit among you, also, even as among the Gentiles. So he's not even as among the Gentiles. So what I'm reading now is it's not just Gentiles. It's also, I'm thinking, Israelites as well, even as among the Gentiles. So Paul is when he separated for the gospel. Okay. Paul is now, he's talking to both Gentiles and Israelites. I'm saying Jews. I'm saying it like that. I am debtor both to Greeks and to barbarian, both to wise and to unwise. That was his mission. His calling was really overall, So his whole purpose was to preach the gospel. Okay. And he was doing just that. But look how he was sincere about it. He was talking about how he would pray his prayers, and he would mention them always in his prayers, and that he had some spiritual gift that he hoping that he can impart and yet be established in them. So it was not just it's not just the Gentiles. There had to have been Jews in the midst of this. So now I would not have you ignorant, brethren. So that's where he was speaking of brethren, that oftentimes I propose to you to come unto you, but let hitherto that I may have some fruit among you also, even as among the Gentiles. And verse 14, I am debtor both to the Greeks and to the barbarians, both to the wise and to the unwise. So Paul had a mission. No wonder he took on the Old Testament, not the whole, but he took on a lot of the books in the Old Testament because he had a mission within himself. Yah imparted a mission in him. And then in 15, he said, so as much as in me is, I am ready to preach the gospel to you that are at Rome also. Verse 16, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of Yah until salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jews first, there it is, and also to the Greeks. So yes, he was dealing with the Gentiles and the Greeks, the Jews and the Gentiles. Paul was. So Paul was all around a guy for the Most High God. And that's a beautiful thing. I mean, he had a lot of ground to cover. But I will say this here. In verse 16, it says, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Listen to what he said. For it is the power of Yah. Sister Deborah been telling you all that the Christ is the part that is Yah's power. It is his right hand. So when you don't study that right hand and that stretched out arm, you miss out. You miss out. You miss out of the fact that it was present at the beginning when he said, let, bam, there that right hand go. He was saying, let. Then he said, let us make man in our image. Who's the image? He's still sticking with himself. But his right hand is the one that created and make all things present. You see? And his right hand is Christ. His right hand is his beloved. His right hand is his only begotten son. Okay? He gave his right hand, which is Christ, to Yeshua to complete the mission. There's no way Yeshua could have came down and did it himself. No. He needed Yah's right hand. Okay? So here we are in 16, and Paul is talking about how the power of the Christ, for it is the power of Yah until salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jews and also to the Greeks. Verse 17, for therein is righteousness of Yah revealed from faith to faith. See, righteous can only be revealed through faith. You see what I'm saying? So that gift that he gives you is what uphold righteousness in you. Faith to faith. Faith is a gift. See that, and the thing about it, not only is it a gift, it is a spiritual gift. Okay, it is a spiritual gift, that is given to those. And you know what's so deep about that, you all? It was given to us before the foundation of the world. So you see how we can't be boosted. We can't be prided and all uplifted. Oh, we this and we this, like we are conducting ourselves as Hebrew Israelites. How dare we say we all that and some, and somebody's bothering us, but look how we treat one another. But furthermore, wait a minute. Look how we treat our Father. That tells the whole story. Now listen to this. In verse 17, it says, for therein is righteousness of Yah revealed from faith to faith, as it is written. As it is written. Now, where do it says faith is something you can crank up, or you can build on, or you can build up? It ain't got nothing to do with your flesh. It's your spirit. Everything Yah is saying is spirit. That's why he says spirit and truth. That's it. Everything else everybody said, that's why do you think Solomon just dropped out of the basket? He realized he had learned everything Yah had possibly allowed him to learn under the sun. And he realized nobody wasn't getting it. So Solomon said, forget this. I'm going to start enjoying what he gave me. That's why. That's why. Because he realized that, wait a minute. I asked him to give me the ability to learn everything that I can possibly learn. That's under the sun. That is his will. That's the Father's will. To under the sun. And he learned it, you guys. He mastered it. But then he got to the point where he started to call everything vain and vexed. Everything has its place. Time for this and a time for that. Yes, you're right, Solomon. It is a time for this and a time for that. But see, what he did is he realized that, wait a minute. All this that I'm learning, I'm pouring out. But wait a minute. It's all vain and vexed. Why? Because the people wasn't getting it. They wasn't gripping it. Gripping it what? In what way, Deborah? The way he was receiving it in his spirit. That's why. You know, and I feel Solomon. I feel him all the way. Hello in the live chat. Glad to see you all. And verse 17. Now, verse 18. Wait a minute. Oh, and the just. Now listen to this, y'all. Right. Now, this is what I'm saying. This is all spiritual. Y'all listen to this. Go back to 17. It says, for therein is righteousness of Yah revealed. Righteousness revealed from what? Faith to faith, as it is written. Now, what other word do you see in there? The just shall live by faith. See how faith covered all that? Righteous, just. It's because faith is a gift from Yah. It ain't something that you can just come up with and say, oh, I got it. I believe. No, you ain't believe nothing. That's where all that boosting and that uplifting is on all these platforms. People trying to paint a picture as if they have all this and some, and they just don't know. I ain't got nothing. You know, all that I have is all that he has given me. And I'm trusting in him to give me what he feels that's best for me. But outside of that, they won't teach it like that. They're going to teach it like they know everything. Oh, they master Torah. They master all these books. They master everything. And they turn around and teach you as if they got it all and they ready for the New Jerusalem, not the New Jerusalem. They ready to go on to their land. They did their job. Okay, now listen to this. This is what kind of scary to me. Verse 18. If you have any thing to say in the live chat, go ahead on. Put it out. Any questions, or if you want to expound on Romans chapter 1, chapter 1 and any of the verses, put it out there, okay? Okay, verse 18. Now, this is the scary part for me. This is scary for me. Listen to this. For the wrath of Yah is revealed. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from where? From heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of what? M-E-N. That's not saying M-A-N. He's saying M-E-N. He's talking about males. One thing I was thinking when I was coming from my son's house, I was thinking, I said, a lot of people would say, not a lot, I can't say that. People would say that Sister Deborah is always bashing men and always talking negative about men. But y'all said what they say unto you, they say unto me. Because from the beginning, Genesis to Revelation, if the women would stand down and get out the way, they would see y'all speaking only to men. Because I got chastised by y'all. When I was all up in this, he was saying something about don't do this and don't do this, and don't do this. And I went to asking him questions. Father, but he said, shut up. I'm not talking to you, woman. I'm not talking to you, woman. Did you know I had to go back and read? Why wasn't he talking to me? And I went back and I said, oh, he ain't talking to us. That just shows you, if we listen to them, everything he's saying to us and them. But y'all, it's not saying that. He said every word that proceed out of his mouth. We can't go grabbing every verse man done said when one say women are not to speak and to keep silent. Just because man said that, we got to find it in this book where y'all said it. You get what I'm saying? That's what people don't understand. You have to hear it come out of the mouth of Yah. He said every word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. And believe it, these are words that man has, how would I say, translated and put together. But when you're in the spirit, you can hear what comes out of Yah's mouth. And that's why when he was working with me a couple of weeks ago about when Adam said, she is flesh of my flesh and bone of my bones. Where did he get that from? See, y'all said I didn't say that. You see, so he was showing me how easy it is for people to really teach these books and all the books that they got. And they have. And teach these books as if he said everything that's in there. And he said he didn't. But through the Ruach HaKodesh, he'll come and let you hear Yah. And every word proceeded out of his mouth. And it'll separate what man is saying and what Yah is saying. And then if man says something, it has to bounce off of something Yah has said. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, when they say woman was created for man and not man for woman, where are you going to find that in the beginning? When he said, I created he and her, I created them. Where did he say that? See, they ain't going to find it. Nowhere in it. See, when that sin hit in that garden, that was it. Anything goes. Any and everything. That's when sin blew up. I mean, anything. They said anything. They spoke anything. They did things their way. They rode on the flesh way. They never connected to the spirit. That's why he made sure he had his seed covered. So when every time the serpent would come, bam, the heel of their heel would crush the head of the serpent. And you have to understand the head of the serpent don't mean literally his head. It's his plans that he has. And the heel represents the Father's steps, his order, our steps. And you can't make a step without your heel. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, the heel represents steps that the Most High Yah has ordered in our lives before the foundation of the world. The serpent will be after those seeds that is carrying the steps that Yah has ordered. So that's how that translated as far as the serpent and the seed of the woman and the serpent. It's not really saying the serpent is a snake himself, but it's saying Satan. Your plan's gonna be bam stepped on by the orders the steps that I have ordered in mine that has the seeds. So that not has the seed, but is the seed. So because they got to keep it going. So they kept on, were very successful. Even David, Abraham, Isaac, on down to Yeshua HaMashiach. And that was that. But we have to understand when women, we have to understand when Yah is talking to them, shut your mouth. Don't try to make everything good for these men. Don't try to sugarcoat everything for these men. Don't try to be their crutch and let them stand on your back and pretend they kings and leaders and they all that and some, and they ain't standing on a bag of beans. You know, they got to stand up before the Most High Yah themselves. You know, I was coming home today and I was thinking about Sister Goodword. Okay. I was coming home today and I was thinking about how we as women need our men. We need our men. And you know what? We love our men. You know why we love our men? You go back to Genesis. He said, your desire. So that was, he put in us a desire, you know, to want our men. You see what I'm saying? Will be to your husband. When you look that up, you'll find out that you want right for your husband. Don't let nobody tell you that you don't want right for them. You always, that's why you gave up yourself and everything you do to please him, to do what he wants. And even women today, they'll do anything a man says. And then in Romans, that's how they end up turning the natural use. Because if you listen to what Yah saying, he's strictly talking to men. And he said, even there, even there, as if they were doing these things and the women decide to take their natural use and let man have it any way that displeases them. See, they want to make it look like that the women took their natural use and went to a woman. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that women have taken the natural use of what Yah called them to create their bodies for and use it, allow it to be used the way to please men, their men. You see what I'm saying? So this is what he's actually saying. And the men bypass it, thinking it's talking about the women turn the natural use of themselves. It's because if you see it in Romans, that's why I said, did you read Romans chapter 1 where he's chewing out? Oh, let's go there. Let's go there. Romans chapter 1, verse 18. It says, for the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens. See, the wrath is revealed from heavens against ungodliness and unrighteousness of who? Does it say woman? Does it say woman? No. But if you let them teach you this, they would tell you, oh yes, but he mean woman. You see? But Paul is saying something that's very powerful here. Okay? Now listen to what Paul is saying. Let's go back. Let's go back to 17, verse 17. For therein is righteousness of Yah revealed from faith to faith. As it is written, the just shall live by faith. Verse 18. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. Now, do you really believe Paul can say that? Do you really believe Paul can say that? No. So now you can see where Yah is actually saying this. You see? He's actually saying this. This is not, because Paul wouldn't know what the wrath of Yah is revealed from heaven. He wouldn't know. He's a man. But Yah knew. So he wanted, that's why I said when you read in this book, you can hear the words that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah when you are led by the Holy Spirit. But if you are not 100 led by the, and I ain't gonna say 100, but if you're not led by the Holy Spirit, you're not going to see what he's talking about. You're going to hear man tell us what Yah is saying. You see? But here in 18, it says, for the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. Now, if you think that for 1 minute men would have loved, would have given any thought of that, they would have had switched that by now. But see, what proceed out of his mouth, they can't switch. That's why they don't precept it, nor would they teach this verse to you all. They won't teach this to y'all. Let's go on and see what else it says. holds the truth in unrighteousness. Who is that they talking about holds the truth? Men. Men. So when you wonder why Sister Deborah is always talking about men and saying this and bashing, I don't bash them. I tell you exactly what Yah is telling me and has given me and has taught me through the Ruach, because what is being covered up is men. And they got women covering them up in all their sin and all their lust and all their unrighteous and all their unjust. But right here in Romans 1, Paul is saying it, but you can hear another side. You can hear something in the background. Watch this. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. Now watch this. Who holds it? Men. Who holds the truth in unrighteousness. See, they do it intentionally. Y'all get it? You see? So when you hear Deborah talking, it ain't Deborah bashing them or downing them. Sister Deborah know what she's talking about. But Sister Deborah talks more so in the spiritual line, more so than the fleshly line. That means I don't go running behind people and believing what they saying without dissecting it toward what comes out of the mouth of Yah. Now, this is what it says. Because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them. It's manifested in who? The men. Let's go to John 1. The Gospel of John, chapter 1. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 7. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 7. That same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men, you see that? M-E-N, it don't say woman, that all men through him might believe. Don't say nothing about no woman. Because this is where it really rests, you all. And if we continue to support them in what Roman is saying, it said in their ungodliness, in their unrighteousness of man who holds the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them. Why? He gave them the light. Watch this here. For God, which is Yah, has shown it to them. You see? So while we run around here thinking somebody's bothering our men, somebody's doing something to them, we handicap them. We're not helping them. Because I thought about being married for 30 years and how I didn't help my husband. I hurted him. How? Because I didn't give him space to fall. I didn't give him space to fall. Every time something happened, I made sure I caught it. I made sure I caught it. To where even now, my children will look at me and think that, oh, it's anything fall, we ain't worried about it. She gonna catch it. You see? That wasn't good. We as women didn't know because we thought we were doing our part the best we knew how. We thought we was that helpmate. But that's out of order. See, every time they done something, we should have let them fall. Only thing we should have did is ask, baby, do you need me to help you up? And then you help them up, but let them fall. Let the men fall. And let them fall all the way down. And even if you have to suffer from it, you got to let them fall. Because the only one can pick them up right is Yah. But all us women, went picking them up, or like I did, I caught them before they fell. Before he fell, could fall. You see? But they were supposed to hit solid ground. You were supposed to come over, grab them by the arm and help them up. Said, baby, we can do this again. Let's try it again. You good. And praise him and tell him you did good. You can get up and you can do it again. That's how you support your man. You do not support him in all this wickedness. To where now, that's why our men minds are the way that they are toward us. They support us. They crushed. And look how they look at us. And they look at us so horrible to where they can't even see in the word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah in this book, got a plan for woman. You see, they can't even see it because for so long, no matter what they did, what they said, how they act, we were always there to support them in. And that's where I failed. I didn't set a good example around my sons, letting them, nor my daughters, letting them see that, okay, if something go wrong, like I'm going to set an example. Okay. My husband is not, we're right now, we're divorced. He tore up his car. The people that I go to get the car fixed, they know me pretty well. $1,400. Okay, bam, there it is. You see? That's not good. That's not righteous. That's not just. Why? Because you're hurting them. And that's why the men are the way that they are today. Throughout their lives. And the moment you stop helping them, oh, that you really this and that. You're really a bad person. Because all these years you have supported them. You wouldn't allow them to fall. You wouldn't allow someone scoring his job. They write them up. They write them up. And they write them up. Oh, they wrote you up? No, they didn't. Oh, yes, they did. They wrote you up. Here I come. And I confront him. And he get his job back. Back then, I thought I was helping. You see? My household. I thought I was doing something, you know, to help my household, to support my household. It was like you mess with him, you mess with me. Now you're going to have to see me. That's how I felt. But woo, let me tell you, women, I should have let him fall every time, and let him learn the error of his ways. What got you to this point where they want to fire you? Instead, they wrote you up. Okay, let me go. I'm going to personnel. Well, I like to talk to personnel manager. Yes, what? I'm so-and-so's husband. You his wife? Yes, I am. See, once they take one look, they already know what time it is. So I know who works in me and who deals with me. I know who he is. I know what he have done for me. So when I look back over my life, I realized that the things that I was doing to keep him from falling, I wasn't really helping him. I was hurting him. There are some things that came when we got married. I was like, Father, where is this stuff coming from? And let me tell you, being a woman, I thought, oh, it was me. Oh, it's my fault. You know, y'all, the Father came to me. No. He came to you like this. You think I wasn't feeling good? Oh, I was like, oh, Father. And I was young. I mean, the Father had to come to me and tell me, no, it ain't got nothing to do with you. He came to you like this. Then he took me all the way back to where it come from. It came down that father's lineage. You see, to where here it is. I'm dealing with it for 30 years. But before them 30 years is the first year. And then the second year, I'm like, oh, is this me? What? The Father had to tell me. And I'm going to tell y'all something. It was a blessing for me because it set me free. Because I wanted peace in my household. And there was peace. And I knew that Yah was the peacemaker. But I mean, it was the things that went on in everybody else's house. It didn't go on in mine. They said, yeah, you rule. I said, only thing I rule is that devil up out of here. That's about it. You know, he gonna run his tail up out of here. I don't care which door he go in. He's getting up out of here. And that's how I was. I've just been all my life a non-tolerant. So the things that he taught me regarding men was one of the number one things that he instilled in me about men. The Father have taught me so much about men to the point where he calls it naked. Y'all know what naked means? Naked to y'all is letting me understand men in their nakedness. That means in their purity of what they were, what they are and is and shall be from him, from his eyes. You see, that's what the nakedness represents. So if I go on now and try to cover up what's going on with our men, I'll be doing the opposite of what the Spirit taught me. What he taught me through all of these years. So I'm telling you all, even here, when you read Romans chapter 1, and it's sitting here telling you in 18, he's dealing with men. Let's go to verse 19. Because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them. That's the same as John 1 and verse 7. He telling in who? Men. So when they walking around here profaning his name and thinking they running around here speaking his name and at the same time profaning it, oh, you see the men running around here rapping and saying all this stuff? That's profaning Yah's name. How, Deborah? It's because he chose these people to be his children. And they idling God. And they saying things that does not represent him. Matter of fact, it represents the opposite of who he is. So they are profaned. They have profaned and continue having no respect for the Father that claimed him. That's it. So he's saying this because that's why he tells us several times, but you will never hear a man precept it, line it, little here, teach it, preach it, nothing. Were the lineage of the ways of the children. So if the children ways is of the Father, how far do it go to where we at today? So when you see the world the way that it is, you see our children the way that they are, you see the family the way that it is, it's because going back to this right here. It takes you back to Romans 1, 18, 19. We're going to cover it in 20. And it takes you to John chapter 1, verse 7, where he said he put that light in man. M-E-E, men. See? So the things that's going on, women, we're trying to take on the power by supporting them and putting them on pedestals. And there's no more pedestals, y'all. We can't put them up there no more. Why? They profane your Father's name. Even to today, on this devil platform. They profaning his name. And everything they saying and doing, that's what they're doing. If he said he got a body of homicide and I poured out gifts, and then they telling you that it don't matter about them gifts. We don't care about that. We kings, we ruler. We the children. They bypass everything y'all have sunk down for the body of homicide. They done went over to the body of homicide, messing with it, trying to taint it, and they done a pretty good job. But y'all knows. He said, you're willing to go over there after I put you into the body of homicide. You're going to go over on this end and listen to him? Okay, go ahead on. You go ahead on. Because he already told us in the body of homicide, it's like he said, the right arm can't say nothing to the left arm because we all in this together. Do y'all know the body of homicide is a unity? It's a unit? He said, well, one hurt, all of us hurt. You see? We're in this body of homicide. And we're living the way a man is teaching us to live. And he ain't following the light. He following his ways, his precepts, his line, his little here, his Torah, and all the way he see it and he understand it. That's why he said you got to rightly divide it. You got to evenly divide. You got to, not evenly, but you got to divide it. Divide it from what? What man is saying and what Yah is saying. Okay. Now, when you get to verse 20 of chapter 1 of Romans, verse 20, it says, for the visible things of him from the creation of the world is clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power, which is Christ, and the Godhead. All right. So that they are without excuse. Oh, it's no way that Paul can teach this like this without the Ruach speaking through him. It's no way. Because these are things Yah is saying. You see? These are things Yah is saying. He's telling you, he laying it down, you know, saying so that it's no excuse. Man can't tell you without no excuse. No, but Yah can, because he know how he laid the ground. That's when you led by the Holy Spirit, you can hear Yah. Like when he sent Solomon to minister to me, even though Solomon is not literally ministering to me, it's the spirit of the Ruach showing me the mission of Solomon through the spirit. And I laugh at it because I know that you all really don't get it when I'm talking about when Solomon ministered to me. Oh, Jeremiah ministered to me. Abraham ministered to me. He said, tell her, Abraham. And then I get into the word, and then the spirit began to open me up to see the mission of Abraham and what he did this day. You know, if that's on the topic of what he want me to see and want me to understand. So he's saying there's no excuse. But we're running around here trying to put them up continually when they did not even want to raise their children, even after all the slavery. They still did not want to raise their children and be a family, labor until they sweat. They didn't do those things. They did the opposite and then say the women put them out. Oh, the government set this up. Now, wait a minute. Hold up. Is it in Deuteronomy? Is it in Deuteronomy? No, it's not. Not the way they saying it. You see? It's not the way they are saying it. You can't find it. What they're saying about how we did and we put the men out, and you're not going to find that in the biblical, you guys, because it's not there. It's their mindset. Because they have not honored and represented the Most High Yah, this is the mindset they have. So they have to blame everything like Adam. He didn't just say, oh, Father, forgive me. You told me not to eat out of it. And yes, I did, but Father, forgive me. You know, the woman you gave me, he could have went that route. No, he never brought repentance to the table. He blamed Yah from giving him the woman, and then he blamed the woman for him taking of the fruit. We know it wasn't really literary fruit, but I'm just still saying. But that's how, you got to really watch that. See, now if they did that at the beginning, what makes you think it ain't gonna be like that at the end? It's the same today. They blaming woman because they don't want to blame themselves. But when they blame themselves, then they can take that chain and clamp on to Christ and be all right. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They want to make a newfound religion so they can deceive many and continue to walk their ways. And then here go Roman. You know how long this was? This was a long time ago. Do you think that this is not existing today? Greater. It is existing greater. He's sitting here telling you they chose ungodly and unrighteousness of men. This is what they did. The wrath of Yah is revealed from the heavens against ungodly and unrighteous men. He didn't say man or his children. He said men, because he knew that they have taken on a whole new identity, and we women, we run right behind them and support them. If you ever want to pick up the biblical book and read the Old Testament and see how many women and children died, what do you think happened to them children in Sodom and Gomorrah? What do you think happened to them children in Noah in the ark? Only thing I see in there where he says men was marrying and taking women when the world women begin to have children, the men were taking married and giving in marriage and all of this. That's what called it. But nobody want to teach it and preach it. No one want to precept it. No one want to minister that thing because it's too much in there that's going to reveal really who he's been talking to all this time. What made him end Noah? The day of Noah, and then cut the years of life. Come on now, y'all. Oh, they tell you, oh, it was some giants from heaven did it. Y'all better wake up and read that thing. Read it for what it is. And another thing, I'll tell you what he was dealing with me coming home. He was telling me about, I was asking him about, what about all these books that they haven't? He said, Deborah, not now one of them books can bring them to salvation. Enoch, none of them. None of the books that's lost, that they didn't clamp to and teach it in they newfound religion. He said, none of them lead them to salvation. None of them lead them to the light. Now you tell me, is that not deep? What did Solomon say? Deborah, it's all vain and vast. Why? It's worthless if it don't lead them to God. What's the sense of knowing what Enoch did and what Enoch said and Enoch this and all the other ones that's missing out of this book if it does not lead the people to the light? Is there something wrong with that? Come on now, y'all. Many of the books is from the old. Y'all better wake up and understand what's on the scene. It's a new sheriff in town. And he came 3,000 years ago. His name is Yeshua HaMashiach. And he don't play. So if they bring up all these other books before him, that's vain and vast. Why? It's worthless. What is it going to do for the gospel? What is it going to do for your salvation? What is it going to do for your life? See, what we have to do is be concerned about where we at today and how we want to walk therein. We can't be caught up in tomorrow or yesterday. We got to take this thing one day at a time and rest therein. You see? But why yet one day you're going to take it one day at a time? Make sure you're in the light. Because it's going to give you another day. And if you're in the light that day, it's going to give you another day. And then you'll begin to see your purpose of why y'all called you. What is my mission? There's something in me for you want me to know these things, Father, y'all. What is it you're trying to tell me? What you want me to do? Surrender to him. And say, what is it you want me to do? What can I say? What can I do? I think about today, I was thinking about what he was saying. Love your enemy. Do good to those who do evil unto you. All those things you don't hear the Hebrew Israelite movement expounding on. Why? New sheriff in town. His name is Yeshua HaMashiach. See, they want to ride on a horse called Torah and forsake what Yeshua HaMashiach come to do. He come to deliver us. So we can make it to the light and get the oil for the lamp that our light will never go out. So that's what we need. We don't need no one trying to make us feel that we have to go into a tradition or a tradition of man. You know what man said? You failed my father too long, bro. You've been failing him a long time. I'm not going your route. I'm not going to go your route. Now, if your route bring righteous, oh yeah, I'm all for you. And I'm there to support you. And I'm believing in you as a leader. And I'm there for you. But if it don't come on that standards, I'm not following behind you. What am I going to follow darkness for? And I love that marvelous light. No. But listen to this one here. And he said in 20, there's without no excuse. Listen to this. 21. Because that when they knew Yah, now who was they? He's still talking to the men. They won't tell you that. They won't tell you that. See, they won't cover this. You see, because that when they knew, who was they? The men. They knew Yah. See, they knew him. Even to today. the question I kept asking the Father. Father, when they came over here on the ship, what happened to all their prayers and they laws and they commandments and everything? That's something we have in us. So what happened to it? That's what happened to it. They came over here without it because they was cutting up from the floor up over in their own land. They had already defiled his name, so they didn't give a rest behind if they got over here in front of the Gentiles and defiled it. And that's why the Gentiles did us the way that they did us. Because they say, if you're going to defile the Creator and you defiled his land and he let you get out of it, wait a minute. We don't have no respect for you. But see, what Yah is going to deal with them, because what you all don't understand, and this is the saddest thing to me than anything. I cannot get over the fact that a people really, I call it the tribe of Judah, really believe their mission is to tell the Gentiles and the heathens that they are the people. Oh, Father, y'all help them souls, Father. Help them souls, Father. How you going to tell them that you're the people? The whole New Awakening religion is based on proving that they are the people. Guess what? They already knew. The biblical even lets you know. They already knew. Because as in Ezekiel 36, he's talking about in this day and time. They already knew who we were. They even said, oh, no, these are the people of God. Now, wasn't that his land they wrong? Well, that's when he split, he scattered them. I'm like, do not these people understand? No. They so busy deceiving their own people into believing that they know something and that somebody's bothering us. But they will not let you see spirit and truth and righteousness at all. And that's what Romans is talking about here. That's what it's talking about here. Now listen to this. What I realized, that it was not just Jews, but it was also Gentiles he was talking to, Paul was talking to. So it wasn't just Jews, Gentiles and Greeks. I think that's what they were saying, but it was Jews in here and Gentiles that Paul is talking to, saying these things that was going on. Okay. Now, this is what he said in 21, because that when they knew Yah, they glorified him not as Yah, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imagination, and their foolish heart was darkened. That's what Sister Deborah been saying for the last year. They fall in darkness. That's what's going on. They got a newfound religion, and it's following in darkness, and it's walking in darkness. And that's what they got the people, deceiving the people. That's why Yeshua told the 12, be not deceived. You know, because that's one of the biggest demonic spirit is the deceiver. Oh, he good at what he does, because he got them deceived by a long shot. Okay, now watch this here. Verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. See, that's exactly today. You see, they want to, their hearts is walking in darkness. That's why I say this newfound awakening is darkness that you all are walking in. It is not the marvelous light, y'all. It is not the direction to Yah. It is the direction to darkness. It is the direction to you being deceived, and you might not make it back. So now learn of the light and ask the Most High to show you and teach you how to walk therein, and just lean to him. Just lean to him. Now listen to 23. We on Romans chapter 1 and 23. And change the glory of an uncorruptible Yah into an image made like a corruptible man. Didn't I tell y'all that? I'm saying it. They want to treat him like he a man. That's why they won't apologize to him. That's why they won't repent to him. They figure, hey, for what? You ain't nothing but another brother. That's how they treat Yah. And they don't have no problem with it. They don't have no issue with it. And they've been doing it a long time on this platform. And that's what bothers me. What bothers me is when I see them on this platform chasing, I'm gonna tell you what they chasing. What is it? Subscribers. They chasing it down, and nobody. That's just something I discern. I said, Father, what is it that they want to get on here and they still want to deceive the people? And I said, well, look like they just trying to get the mark of the subscribers. He said they are. They've been chasing it since they got on here, trying to get more and more numbers. They don't care if you get spirit and truth. They don't care if you go to the light. They're going to keep you moving toward the darkness to keep you away from the light. So you would always be in darkness all the way until you're in the grave. Okay. Now here it is here. He said in 23, and changing the glory of the uncorruptible Yah into an image made like a corruptible man. That's how they see him. Now, why would he say that? And a bird, and to birds and four-legged footed beasts and creeping things, all kind of idols. See, that's how they see Yah. Okay, watch this here. Wherefore, 24, Yah also gave them up to an uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own body. That's masturbating, y'all. And between themselves represents homosexual. He talking about men. He talking about men, y'all. Then he says, 25, who changed the truth of Yah into a lie and worship and serve the creature. Now, see how they turned the truth of Yah into a lie? So why is it we won't believe this, but we believe what they said? I don't get it. I don't get it. Pray that Yah give you the spirit of discerning if it be his will. That's what we really need. A lot of y'all need. I have it. The spirit of discerning. The spirit of discerning give you the power to behold good and evil, seeing what is therein. You see? So therefore, no matter where you go, you'll always be able to discern that good and that evil. You see? That's what the spirit of discerning is for. Okay? So right here it says he gave them he gave them up to an uncleanness of the thoughts through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Who is themselves? Men and men. That's why a lot of them, like Pastor Dow, you see him collecting them men, trying to get all them men that plays on different sports into his camp. See, because he bringing that money in. That's what he doing. You see, it's a lot of stuff going on that there are prophets and prophetess that has gifts to call him out, but they won't say nothing because they ain't even answered their calling. They walking in that darkness. They see, this day is what they should be doing, calling this mess out. You see, if they're walking in the light. But if they're not walking in the light, they could care less. And see, a lot of people don't understand prophets back then and prophetess. Oh, they come to judge. The prophetess is always the ones that's judged, is the ones that's bringing the judgment. But the prophets, they does likewise, but they also call stuff out because y'all be telling them, look, this person doing this, go tell them. But do you see those men doing this? No, because they one to another. Like this here, like he said, they loving on each other. I see men hugging each other and embracing each other like I have never in my life seen. They boosting each other up. They putting each other on pedestals like I have never seen, and doing everything in the closet and out of the closet. And they better not come around me because I can discern that too. I can discern that. See, let me tell you. And in verse 25, who changed the truth of Yah into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Do y'all know he's talking about men? He's talking about men. Watch this here. For this cause, Yah gave them up unto a veiled affections, even their women. You see, that's where you know he's been talking about men. Now he's finna say something about a woman. Now watch what he say. Now all that other time, all that stuff I was saying, he talking about men. He know who he talking to. For this cause, Yah gave them up unto a veil of affections. Let me tell you why. While we're sitting thinking that homosexuals start in this day and time, we acting like, woo, look what they doing. Woo, they did this. They did this. Woo, them gays. And let me tell y'all something. Go back to Genesis. You can go back to Judge. It's all up in there. Same thing happened in Judge that happened to Lot. You see, this stuff been going on. And you know how it continued to this day? When we hip y'all out, in case y'all don't know, masturbating, men, masturbating to where everything starts here. This thing that they're doing, it dispersed into their lineage. Not all their sons and daughters might come out, but they're going to have a son that's going to have that same lifestyle. Some of them might have more than one. And that's how it keeps going down and down and down. That's why he said, even in here, the same way. Let me tell you what he said. Let me give it to you. Let me give it to you. Exactly what he said. Okay, go to 24. Wherefore, Yah also gave them up to an uncleanness thought through the lust of their heart. So when Sister Deborah is telling you they've been masturbating, see how? This here is the heart, okay? This is what they've been doing. He gave them up. So therefore, their bloodline, when them children come, because he visit that iniquity, whether we want to accept it or not, they come on down into them children. And when you see the world the way it is now, that's because of men and what they chose to do. Oh, they ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna precept that. They ain't gonna line that either. So when you wonder why Sister Deborah is talking, I'm talking because this is the walk Yah called me to. Do we need our men? Yes. Do we love our men? Yes. But we need to start loving Yah more than we love anything so we can treat them and know how to deal with them in a godly way. You see? Because me knowing who they are in their nakedness, I'm sorry, I can't tell you nothing but what I understood by the Most High Yah. I can't paint the pictures pretty for y'all. I'm sorry. No, I ain't sorry, Father. I'm sorry about saying that. I'm not sorry. This is what he gives me. That's my calling. Okay. Now, this is where you know he's talking to males now, and then I'm going to show you how he switched over to males. In verse 27, this is Romans chapter 1, verse 27. And likewise also the men leaving the natural use of the woman. Did we pass up something? Wait a minute. No, go back to 26. You're going to get to you, woman. Go back to 26. For this cause, Yah gave them up unto a veil of affection. Okay, watch this here. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. What natural use? Well, she was created. Her body was created for a way that man and woman. And now she changed her natural because he changed his natural. You see what I'm saying? Listen, let's just, for this cause, Yah gave them up unto a veil of affection. Now that was talking about men. Them, men. Because now he finna say, even their women. You see? So their women represent men that had women. You see? So it wasn't women men, women going and messing with women like they want to make you think that's what he's talking about. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Because he doesn't cover that like that. Listen to it now. Just listen. He said, 27. And likewise, in 26. For this cause, Yah gave them up unto a veiled affection. He's talking about the men. Okay. For even their women changed. That did change. See, the women changed after the men was going for each other. So what the women tried to do is hold on to their husbands and their boyfriends and hold on. They let them do whatever they want to do to them. That which is not natural, they let them do. Even to today. These doing Negro men get on here and talk all this yak about women and oh, she's a whore, she's a bitch, and she's a and don't stand there and tell me they don't do it. All day and all night. And the thing about it, when they're doing this here, they already done profane Yah, so they don't care what they do. Nothing can, I don't think nothing can be worse to me than to defame his name. Profane his name. Profaned his name. Nothing can be worse than that. That's disrespecting Yah's name after he chose you to be his people. So that means they'll do anything. Won't mind. So here it's showing you when it says, right here when it says in 26, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And y'all go to Leviticus 18 and get it. Where go to Leviticus chapter 18 and read it. And at the end of it, you understand what it means when he tell a woman don't stand before a beast and so on. Because a man gets his pleasure off of a woman doing things she need not to. So that's what he's talking about. He ain't talking about she changed and went to mess with a woman. You know, he's talking, that's what they want you to think, because that's what he said and they did. So they want you to think that, because if you listen to what it says here, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Their natural use of their bodies was being used for things against what they were created to do. That's what they were doing. Okay. And then he said in 27, and likewise also, the men leaving the natural use of the woman and burning in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly and receiving themselves the recompense of their error, which was met. You see, this is what they doing. Look at the bottom word, meet. That's what they doing today. Men are meeting their obligation with one another, and they doing it all kind of ways. Like I said, y'all can bypass it and overlook it. Even when I see them hugging each other the way they hugging each other now. I'm telling you what I know, and you're going to see as time go on what I'm talking about, because this thing is not something that can't be seen. It's clearly seen. And this way back in Roman, you know how many thousands of years it was? That's what's going on today. And while we're sitting here wants to put them up as kings and leader, what we need to do is get our life right in the light so that we can support them and pray for them and help them in any way the Most High leads us, so that they can also get the help that they need. You see, but us going on, keep on picking them up and keeping them from falling and making sure everything is right for them to flourish in their unrighteousness. That's not good, child. That's not good. We need our men. We need them as much as they need us. We need each other, because that's how Yah created us, to meet together his will, to bring things together as one. to come on, not to come on, to meet his will. That's what it was all about. They sitting here telling you to meet his pleasure. I mean, she created for him, not her from. You don't see that. You don't hear that come out of the mouth of Yah. All this nonsense that come out of the mouth of man, you have to back. You read it, but you got to be able to bypass it. If the Ruach HaKodesh come and he begin to teach you spirit and truth, you got to understand everything you taught. You got to throw it to the trash. You got to hear him. You got to hear him teach you and show you what is spirit and truth. Okay. Okay. Anybody have any word out of Romans chapter 1? Everybody pretty quiet over there in the live chat. Everybody okay? Or everybody falling asleep? Is it too late? So that's where Romans chapter 1. That's where I stop at, because it goes deep into all the other things which fall under unrighteousness, which is plainly understood. At least I would say. Anybody in the live chat got any questions, or can maybe you want to talk about something in chapter 1, or you have any questions about anything, or maybe even somebody in the chat can also expound on something for you. I guess no one has anything. Shalom, everyone. Thank you too, TJ. Thank you, AC. Anyone have any question? TJ, you said something about clearing this up. Which one? What part was that? Which part is that? And I want to ask you all, what is your call? Do you know your calling or your purpose in the body of Hamashiach? Anybody have their calling from the Most High Yah? Anybody have their calling or their purpose in the Most High Yah as of yet? Oh, yes, most definitely. You're right. But didn't he say the same yesterday, today, and forevermore? Only time that's going to change is when he comes. And that's what people don't understand. That you can tell that they don't have the faith, because the faith will always let you know that it's not going to change until he comes. Have anyone in the live chat answered their calling? Okay, that's a good. Oh, TJ, that's a good. TJ, that's a good situation. Yes, all my life I did not believe that one can be born, man or woman, but based on what the Most High has taught me through His Spirit, and have taught me greatly about this. Yes, they are born. It's a bloodline. It's a mindset of the mindset that's like the Bible, like he just said, it's in their heart to do these things. So therefore, as they have, see in the Old Testament, he talked about, I will visit the iniquity of the father 4 generations. Let me tell you, he don't have to visit the iniquity of the father in 4 generations if the cycle can be broke by one child, okay? But if the cycle continues throughout that child, then it goes on and on and on. You see, it never ceases. Let's set an example. We're going to cover that, TJ. Let's set an example. Look at Lot. Even though he got out Look what his daughters and his two daughters did to him. You see that? See, you can't get out of, you can't, it's no way out unless you have the a changed heart and a changed mind. You see what I'm saying? You have to have that change. They came straight out of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot and his daughters, and they went straight up to some mountain somewhere they went. But what happened? Daughters and the both daughters wanted to sleep with daddy and had babies. You see that? So that shows you that even though they got out of Solomon, Solomon and Gomorrah, it still continued. It don't get you don't escape it. See, I used to go up against people who said he was born. You ain't born. I tell them you ain't born. But when that spirit taught me that, I was like, okay. Oh, yep. You don't know what your calling is. You know what? Another thing with the homosexual thing is we can't be hard on them. We can't be hard on them because it extends from father to father to father. Now, this is what I mean. Now, I want you to understand how even I am. Is when I said from father to father, it also come down mother, father. You see what I'm saying? So it can come either or. See, but it can't come down mother. It has to come down mother through her father. But the daughters, the sin of the father, Yah said he revisit their iniquity. See, the sins of the father. He never said the sins of the mother. So that's why you know that it's got to be the men in which this sort of nonsense come on down the bloodline. But they ain't gonna never teach you and preach that. They ain't gonna. They wouldn't. A preacher wouldn't preach that. No, they wouldn't teach it on this devil platform either, because it'll show up and show out, and then it'll shame a lot of them, because a lot of them knows. See, one thing about what we just read, I'm going to put this before y'all right now. Have you noticed if you paid any attention to this, one thing you just read was he was actually sitting here saying things that is actually taking place today. And the power is they knew better. They knew. And they still do it. That's what Roman was. That's why it was important for us to cover Romans chapter 1. Because not only did they do it, they knew what they were doing. They didn't care. Just like they did with the conversation we had the other day about profaned his name. They didn't care. So when he said they got over there in front of the heathens and profaned my name on the four corners, oh, what? They did what? Knowingly profaned his name, knowing that they were his children. And that's how it is today. It's no nothing there, you know. Oh, what is your calling? Someone said they know their calling. Oh, yes, that's what you do. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to be for real about this. It's something in this word in how Yah want us to love our enemy, do good to those who do evil unto us. He even said, even if it takes you to give them a gift, you'll never hear the Hebrew Israelite movement preach that or teach that, nor precept it, because they want you to hate. They want you to have that hateful heart, like the people on the downtown and in the camps, like they have. They want you to have that same mindset. No, y'all don't want us to do that. We are to love them in spite of the lifestyle that they have chosen, because we know that not only they're going to be judged, but we ourselves shall be judged as well. And that's why I tell y'all, don't ever find your life, you feel like in your life that you got to hate white people. Don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. It don't matter if you marry a black or white or whoever. It don't matter. If y'all got you in his hand, it doesn't matter who you marry. Don't let nobody tell y'all that. It doesn't matter, okay? See, what they want you to do is hold on to Torah in the old, and they forget it's a new sheriff came in town, okay? And he ain't holding us to hold Torah up like they want to hold it up in their newfound religion, and they not even holding it up in love, in peace, in unity, in joy, in happiness. They ain't holding nothing up. They just want to run around and pretend they're in a newfound religion. Oh, we separate from everybody else, and the tribe of Judah need to sit their butt down, because they are the ones that's supposed to awaken the other ones. But what they doing? No. They study word about the 12 tribes. You ain't got no business worried about the 12 tribes. You can't do nothing for them. You're supposed to be worried about your own tribe. And that's where they messed up on the floor. Now, you ain't worried about everybody, your brothers and them killing each other in Chicago, but you're going to be on this devil platform talking about the 12 tribes. You need to sit your butt down, because that don't make no sense. How you going to be worried about the 12 that's on the four corners, and you ain't even worried about your brothers right in your next door? He said, love your neighbors. A neighbor mean near. You can't even love your brother next door. But you're on this devil platform trying to be a leader and a captain and an overseer and a watchman and a pastor and a bishop and all this other stuff. And ain't even stepped in no realm of light. Yeah, we got to learn to love everybody, y'all. I'm telling you, you can do it. You can do it, because I know that I can. There are times where I want to kind of buckle up toward white people, but y'all won't let me. He will not let me, y'all. I'm telling y'all, he will not let me, because it's representing his name. How is it he going to let you represent his name, but yet you're going to do the opposite of what he say don't do? Do that make any sense? You got to do what he wants you to do. And you got to know that from the inside out, not the outside in, because you hear all kind of voices in the land from the outside. You got to hear him from the inside of your heart. That's why he said, give me your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That's all of you. And you don't even understand what he got for you if you did that. You don't even know how you will feel your next day and your next week, your next month, your next year, and your years throughout your life of just giving it to him. Yeah, we need to love. And we need to love our brothers too. We need to love our brothers and understand that, believe it or not, they are at a stage of weakness. When they think that they are strong, really, actually, they are weak. They're weak in understanding. They're weak in what they're doing. Why do y'all, have anybody ever noticed that they can't even unite? They can't come on one accord. All that I can take. Oh, no, yes, they can. Stop that, Deborah. Stop that. You know they can debate. They can come on here and debate each other. Now, when do you debate the Father's word? His word come out of his mouth. So how are you going to debate what come out of his mouth? Because you ain't really debating what comes out of his mouth. You debating what comes out of your mouth and out of your mind and your heart. That's what you debating. You ain't debating my Father's word. Because my Father's word come out of his mouth. His word don't come out of your mouth. And you know what else? If the Most High Yah, if it be his will that we would represent his love, we know that is his will. Do you all know that? That is his will, that we represent his love. You do. Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think we're representing him? Anybody on in live chat, would you say we are representing Yah? That's right. We got to love them no matter and pray for them. You are so right. That's right. Whatever is his will. AC, you are so right. And that's right. We need to lean and help one another in every way. And you know what I think about? I'm gonna tell you something I kind of do feel sad about, because I know that I'm a part of the body of Hamashiach. But see, I'm just that little pin needle. I'm not all of it. Just imagine a little pin needle. That's who I am. And I just know that if it was his will that was formed where we unite and come together in love. I don't care what. I don't want to come together in nothing but his love. Everything we do would be love. You know, we won't focus on nothing but peace, joy, love, giving, helping, those sort of things. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing that all when I was a little girl. I used to always say I was going to take care of all of the poor and the hungry and the homeless. I had that mindset for a mighty long time. Yes, he knows what is best for us. But you know what? Wait a minute, let me see it. Love us. Yeah. You see how you got that love, AC? You see how you got loves us? Did you know that loves us come before that mercy and grace? That's some type of love. If he has mercy and grace for us, that has to be some kind of love. You see what I'm saying? That has to be some kind of love to be followed by. What I'm saying is he loved us and still have mercy and grace too. You know what I'm saying? That would have to be some kind of love to have mercy and grace to follow therein. That's some kind of love. But we walk around here under his name and we just don't have nothing. And we think that's all right. We think that that's all right. That's not all right. That's not right. And you know what? Listen to this though. Watch this. That love and that mercy and grace, no matter what a person doing and how they doing it, that mercy and grace will still yet pour it out on them. That's what Solomon was saying. The sun, when it shines on the righteous as well as the unrighteous. That's how grace and mercy is. That's how his love is. He still love them. You see, it's really, if you really think about that, that's some type of love. That is some kind of love. You know, in spite of whatever. You know. Yep, he's the answer to everything. Mm-hmm. That's him. That's him. And you'd be surprised some of the things he can answer for you. Whenever you get into a situation and you need some answer and you need some clarity, I'm gonna tell you something. That's him. He's good at that. That's one of his characteristics. Mm-hmm. Yep. You see that? You see that, AC? That's exactly what I'm saying. That got to be some kind of love. That got to be some kind of love. And then we supposed to be he's looking for us to represent his name. He's looking for us to represent his name. Instead, we disrespect his name. We profane his name and walking around here calling we the people. Oh, they bothering us. But we do these things to the Creator who chose us to be his children and that we may go up under his name. And we run around here calling these different names thinking we got it made. And it's our actions that represents him. How we carry ourselves, how we walk, how we love, how we forgive, how we have mercy and grace. That's what represents his name. Not our mouth saying, oh, this is his name. This is his name. Oh, his name is this and this is his name. You got to have this and you got to have that. But what about what your action shows and how it represent him? Oh, they don't know nothing about that. That's too much like right. I mean, too much like right. They don't want to even deal with that. More like him. Exactly. And you see how Yeshua HaMashiach came? Jesus Christ came. He came to be that example. And you notice, not one, you will not find one on this devil platform mimicking Jesus Christ. No, they ain't gonna try. They can't nail them. You know, they can't be perfect. But you don't see them doing anything or talking like he would or the things he said. Oh no, they want to follow Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, or those who didn't have, especially Jacob that have 7 wives. I mean, 12 wives. I'm not 12. He don't know how many wives. Well, how many wives did Jacob have? 7. No, he didn't have 7. 4. But that's what they want to mimic. They want to follow those who do things to give them their thrill and their lust and their way. You know, that's what they want to mimic. They want to get up there and try to be everybody in the Bible and try to cover the feast and all these other days. But yet you still profane it. You still profaned his name because your action is not matching him being your father. He know we ain't perfect. He knows that. That's why he got love and grace and mercy. That's why. Grace and mercy. All right. So we did cover Romans chapter 1, verse, I think we started in verse 3, and we went to verse 27. Verse 3 to 27 of Romans chapter 1. And I hope you all got something out of it and read it over again. Maybe the Most High Yah will give you something extra, because you know what? It's just one verse. I can read it over and over and over and get more and more of what I didn't get out of it the first time, over and over and over. So I'm going to close out, and I thank you all for coming on live chat and covering Romans chapter 1, verse 3 and 27. Thank you. So I will be saying shalom and shalom to you all on live chat. I appreciate you all coming and being here to sharing this message or this lesson that we really covered pretty much. And it's never going to be the way we have been taught it. A lot of times they tell us in this day and time of how the Christians have lied to us. But what they don't understand, Yah is beholding you. He's watching you lying and being deceived. He knows that he has given us all that we need, even when we came over here, you know. And what we don't know, it is a time in this day and time that his hand still stretched out wide unto us. He's still there for us. But we wanting to walk in darkness. We continue to want to walk in darkness. So we need to get to the light and stay in the light, you guys, and just keep heading to the light. And the more you in the light, the more y'all gonna sit down with this Ruach and talk to you. And he's gonna be telling you things. And maybe you need to just get out, even if you have to do a YouTube or something, and tell somebody what y'all is sharing with you while you're in that light. because that's where he's going to give you the messages, in that light. He ain't giving you nothing in this darkness. He ain't giving you nothing in this new awakening under this umbrella called the Hebrew Israelite. He ain't going to give you nothing. He's going to only let you get what you want to get out of these books in the way that they want to teach you. So I say unto you, go to the light. That's the only thing I can say is get to the light. And that light is in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 7, and throughout the Bible. It's actually real. It is real. And it carries spirit and truth. It carries faith. It carries endurance. It carries his name's sake. For his name's sake. So I say unto you that I hope you all have a good evening, and pray. Let's pray for our men and our women and our children. Just keep every one of us in prayer. But let's make sure we ask the Father, or say to the Father, let his will be done. We know he's going to let his will be done. But like with me, when I pray for my children, I ask for salvation, that he save and sanctify them for his name's sake. But you know what I say? This is only, Father, a mother's prayer. Let nothing go up against thy will. Let thy will be done. So I, Sister Deborah, say, see you next time. So, and have a good night, evening. And I say unto you, shalom and shalom.